What is up, beautiful people? Welcome once again to HN And in today's tutorial, we are going to be learning how to make this beautiful neckline here. Yes, so this is like a neck design. I think it's called a Grecian neck. Okay, so we're going to be doing this today. Very easy, very simple. You know what we need to do. You need your basic bodice pattern. To watch that video, please click the link up here. I would also put it in my description box so you can see how to get to where I am. Wait, let me put it on my table first. Alright, so here is my pattern for this particular style. Okay, I have my front basic bodice pattern and my back basic bodice pattern with all the dots. Remember that my basic bodice have my shoulder dots and my waist dots. We want to be creating kind of like an armhole princess dot on this front bodice, even on the back bodice. Then draw the Grecian neckline, and yeah, just finish it up. So this is very easy, this is very simple. Pattern drafting on board. So let us begin. First things first, you need to tighten this shoulder dots just temporarily. We're going to tighten this temporarily so that we can have a firmer fit on this bust part here, okay, before we draft our princess dot. So first of all, measure whatever you have here and tighten it along this part. So I have exactly 3 inches there, and when I'm going to be tightening, I'm going to be tightening by 100%. So I'm going to tighten 2 inches along the side seam and 1 inch along this part. I think I need to use another color so it's more visible and understandable. So I will be tightening here. Draw that line back to your shoulder, that line. Okay, and you just want to temporarily close it up. Also, before you even close it up, your basic neck line, and let's draw the basic neck. So my pattern comes with a 3 by 3 neckline. Let me measure that so that we can have that 3 by 3 neck already. Okay, so yeah, that is what my pattern comes with. Comes with a 3 by 3 neckline. So what we want to do now is to actually draw the line. We want to gauge where that Grecian neckline will start from, that curving in on the chest line, where it's going to start from. And you just want to measure about 4 inches downwards, okay? But if you want some like more flesh to show, you can do 4.5 or 5 inches, or you can just take directly on this chest line. 4 inches is well covered up, and this 5 inches will be directly on the chest line, so more skin will show up. I think I'll just use my chest line as the guide instead of using 4 inches below from here. So it's like a total of 8 inches. So from this neck point to this chest line is like a total of 8 inches for me, as regards a total of 7 inches. Okay, so I'll just use this 8-inch line, and you want to actually draw your princess dot. Yeah, so let me show you how we are going to be doing this princess dot. This princess dot is not the normal princess dot. This one comes like a bust here. It comes from here and it curves. All right, so once you have gotten to this point, you've tightened it up. So that's like tightening by you can tighten as much as 1 inch on this part if you feel. Okay, so when I'm checking now, I'm saying that the tightening on that chest line is like 1/2 inch. I think I need to increase it to 1 inch so that it's really tightened over there, right? So I'm going to increase the tightening there, because that's where we're even really very interested in. And for you to know where it's going to touch, you just want you to touch this part, okay? So we are going to be using this one instead of this one. This one is about 1/2 inch, but this is 1 inch from the initial shoulder dart, and that is what we actually want, that firmness, so it's not gaping on that point. So from here, from this point here, you want to draw like a curved line. Yeah, let me just draw it this way. So it's going into the bust line that way. So from here, this will be like our princess dart line. We also want to tighten this waist dart. So to tighten the waist dart, I'll be going in by like 1/2 inch here. And just drawing it back up onto this waist dart point. So we want to be joining it up onto that point to tighten it there. Then from here, you want to curve it, not so much anyway. You want to connect that part with a curve. Leave this part so that we don't have any puckering on there. And for this one, you can just connect this to this point. Great. So we're going to be having this here, and next just draw your straight line. Draw your straight line. If you know you're doing like a dress or a gown, increase the dart leg. If you're not doing a dress or a gown, let it still be here, right? If you're doing a dress or a gown, you need to increase the dart leg to take care of the excess that always happen between the waist and the hip. That excess here, this will take care of it. So this is what we're going to be having. Let me cut out that part. Okay, I hope we get the gist, and I hope there are not so many lines that is confusing. So ideally, we can now go ahead to close up this dart, this main dart we have here. Just close up that original follow comb dart. I hope you understand what I mean. By follow comb, I mean that one that is in the black line. Close it up back. That's what I'm doing here. Okay, so this is what we're going to be having here, right? We've cut this part off. Now we want to work on that neck shaping, that shaping that we have on the neck. From this shoulder, this is the whole shoulder length. First of all, let me even cut this original neck away. If you feel this neckline is too high up, if you feel it's so high up, you can actually reduce it or trim it to how, but this is like a basic 3x3 neckline. Now, next thing we do from here is determine the midpoint in between this space we have left. So let's see what the midpoint is going to be. When I measure what I have here, I have close to like 5 inches. So I'm just going to be using like this part as the midpoint for me. I'll be using here as the midpoint for me. So from here, let me use another marker. So from this point, I'm going to draw a line straight up to that shoulder point. Okay, because this neckline is not necessarily it doesn't fill up the shoulder. It doesn't fill up the shoulder at all. So it's this way, like the midpoint of that shoulder measurement you have. Or if you want to move further a little, you can do like 3 inches or 2.5 inches from here, from this basic neckline. Okay, so I'll cut this midpoint from that midpoint away. That one is off. So this is what you'll be having, right? When you join this part, you need to join this part to this part back, right, along this part here. So this part will be bare and open. I hope you get the gist. Bare and open. Now you can now decide to do a design that's from this chest line. You know, we were using our chest line, and this is where our chest line is. Now from this part, you can decide to measure in about 2 inches or 1.5 inch. Let me just do 1.5 so it's not so deep inwards. Okay, we're doing it on here. Let me just go up a little. So from this edge here that we just newly cut, draw your line there, and I'm coming up a little. I'm not using that chest line again. I don't want it to be too low. Yeah, so from here you're cutting off that point, right? You're cutting off that whole point. Okay, great. So let us cut it off. Oh, I should have done this on a full front so that you can see what it's going to look like. Okay, so this is what it's going to be. When you sew up this part, it sews, see that the lines are matching up. This part is also matching up. When you sew up this part, it's going to sew up fine and neat, closed, and this part will be bare, looking good, looking sweet. Okay, so this is the front. Let us quickly do the back. Do not mind that you have a sharp thing going on here. It doesn't really matter. Now for the back, you want to place this this part bust line to bust line like so. Let me remove this front. I'm just placing the side seam, matching up the waistline, matching up the bust line, matching up everything, and from there we know that this is the line we're going to be using for our for the curve. Okay, same thing we did at the back. You are also going to be doing like a princess that's going on here. Check out the midpoint between this part. You want to figure out the midpoint, which is about here. Let's see. When I measure this part, I'll be having, this is 5.5, so I'll just use maybe like 3 for my midpoint. Then just draw that line. So I'll just draw that line there. Okay, you also want to know where you are using as your chest line, or the line you are going to be forming the design on. That's the line I'm going to be using for my design. Okay, so since I have that now, yeah, from here I'm not tightening anything. I'm just drawing my curve or a straight line to touch up here. Okay, so this one can go low if I want it to. Let just go low and touch that part so it matches up with the front. So that part is matching up with the front. Okay, so we can cut that part out, so that will be like the princess part for the back. We can extend this line as well. Let me cut it out. Great, and we are cutting this one off as well. For the fact that we have even cut that part out, this part out, then the shoulder that there does not even exist anymore. So same thing we did for the front. You go in by about 1.5 inch or 2 inches depending on you. I'll just do like 1.5 inch there. Okay, and I'll connect it, remember, from this tip to that 1.5 inch. I'm going to connect it that way. Then I can cut it off. Okay, so this is what the back is going to be looking like. You can decide to lower the neckline if you feel this would be too high up, but this is the back and this is the front. Okay, yeah, so this is our Grecian neckline for the back and the front. I hope you'll be able to do this. Quite easy, quite simple. Yeah, and yeah, that's about it. Remember that the back already has a zipper allowance, so you don't need to put any zipper allowance when you're sewing. If you want to see me sew this up, do let me know in the comment section below. If I have up to like let me see, 20 people saying I should go ahead to sew it, then I will. But if I do not have up to 20 people, I will not sew it, because you guys like seeing the drafting. You don't want to watch the sewing. That's why I'm not going to do it if it's not more than 20. Okay, all right, so thank you so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy this tutorial, do not forget to give me a huge thumbs up. Also subscribe if you're yet to. Drop a comment below, and yeah, see you in the next tutorial. Stay safe. God bless you all. Bye.